here, and today I just want to talk about a piece of announcement that came out earlier this week of Celsius announcing that they're buying up $10 million worth of CEL token. And I want to discuss the importance of this and the potential impacts, positive impacts I believe that this may have. So just to recap, with Celsius Network, you have the ability to earn interest on your cryptos. So for instance, your Bitcoin, Ethereum, or CEL token itself. And through that, you can also either earn in kind or earn in CEL token. So if you have Bitcoin, you can earn in kind, i.e. earn interest on the actual asset that you hold, or you can choose to earn in CEL token instead. And the appeal about CEL token, earning in CEL token, is that you get a higher interest rate than if you earned in the actual asset that you hold. So that's why there is incentive for customers to earn and CEL. And a further incentive is if they believe that CEL token will appreciate this year at a greater rate than the asset they're holding, then that may give additional reason as to why someone might want to earn in CEL token instead. Now, these rewards or interest payments are paid each week on Monday. And with the CEL interest payment in particular, which is the focus of this video, is that Celsius Network go into the marketplace in order to buy the CEL token from the marketplace. So they have direct interaction with the market itself and the supply and demand dynamics, as well as the price of CEL. Sometimes you may see jumps in price momentarily. This is why. So they have to do that. They have to go into the market like everyone else. They're not essentially printing out thin air like the central bank does from their treasury. They're actually going into the marketplace and interacting with the supply and dynamic forces of CEL there. So they do that on a weekly basis in order to pay the weekly CEL interest. And what they've done essentially here in this piece of news is saying they are buying a bulk buy up front, $10 million worth of CEL token, such that they have this kind of pot that they can pay their interest from now, rather than every week going into the open market and buying the CEL token each time for the weekly payouts. And this could be a very bullish and positive thing, because if they believe CEL token is going to increase this year, then by buying a whole bulk right now at the price that it is, means that they are locking into the price and having this little pot that they can pay rewards from, rather than the CEL token appreciating over time this year, and therefore each week the CEL token becomes even more and more and more expensive to buy from the open market in order to pay the interest. So I think this could potentially be bullish news in their belief or expectation that CEL token will have a bullish year, a run up, a bull run, for instance, and that's why they're looking into what they perceive as affordable CEL now for payouts in the future. So this reminded me a lot about share repurchases. So in publicly traded companies, there's a concept called share repurchase. And I'll just read you the definition here. A share repurchase is a transaction whereby a company buys back its own shares from the marketplace, which is what Celsius Network is doing. A company might buy back its shares because management considers them undervalued. So that goes back to the rationale that perhaps Celsius Network thinks CEL is currently grossly undervalued, because they see the demand for CEL token, they see the growth in numbers of users doubling from 200,000 to 400,000 in a matter of less than half a year. So they have that extra lens that they can see. So this is very similar to a share repurchase, a very similar behavior. And in terms of the key takeaways, a share repurchase or buyback is a decision by a company to buy back its own shares on the marketplace, tick. A company might buy back its shares to boost the value of the stock and to improve financial statements. So by buying back in the marketplace rather than printing from the treasury, like the central bank does, for instance, they're bolstering the price. They're showing credibility in believing in CEL token. Because if you're a crypto company and you really don't actually believe in your token, and you're there for the pump and dump, and you're exiting from the pump, then you wouldn't buy such a large amount and kind of show your intent, show your commitment. So that's what I believe. By also buying CEL, they're showing credibility and belief and intent in CEL token. So I think that's a really positive sign as well. It's not only to make more affordable reward payouts in the future, but it's also to show that they are committed, they're credible, they believe in their own token by staking so much into it now. Companies tend to repurchase shares when they have cash on hand and the stock market is on an upswing. So we do know the AUM of Celsius Network is growing strongly, so they have probably extra cash on hand in order to reinvest somewhere that they think has a good growth potential. There's risk that the stock price could fall after the share repurchase. So it's a natural market that's determined by supply and demand. If the price rockets up, there will inevitably be some people who want to take profit and not there for the long term, so they'll take action on that price increase and sell some of their Celsius token, while some people are long-term believers, so they will continue to hold despite this momentary or this kind of kick up due to the share repurchase of the CEL repurchase from the open market by Celsius Network. So it's just leaving it down to market forces. Do you take profit, or are you a believer of the long term of Celsius token and believe it has further upside potential this year? Okay, so I hope this makes sense. I'll just have a look at the Celsius token technicals. So here you can see we've had a downstream swing at early January, and then since then we've really traded between this band. So about 4.4 and 5.4, we've essentially been between here. We get a lot of these long wick candles because there's a lot of volatility, because Celsius or CEL token is still a small cap, relatively small cap token. So technical analysis is very pinch of salt in this sense because of the volatility and the nature of small cap cryptos. But we have seen in this week, from the 9th of February, we have had a spike up, a jump up, a breakout potentially out of this band. So I believe this is fairly significant. We've been trading around this band for a while, very long time, and we recently have broken out. So could this be the start of a bull run? Could this be the start of the altcoin season? I believe it's very worthwhile watching the space and seeing how Celsius Network develops, because, as mentioned, the AUM is increasing, the number of users is increasing. They're introducing lots of different things this year, including the swap functionality, web browser, insurance pots, and also possibly down the line their version of the credit cards. So going to be a massive year for CEL or Celsius Network, I believe. So watch the space.